So, good morning. All right, I'm trying to move myself in front of the air conditioner where it is comfortable. So, I was looking at a video the other day, and it said the gig economy has crashed. I don't disagree. The gig economy has certainly crashed. There's no money to be made in it anywhere. Just look at everything I'm doing. I do freelance writing. I do books. When the website's up and running, it's monetized with ads. So I get a little bit, couple pennies if you look at a web page when the website's working. What else do? I sell handmade items sometimes. Those are on Payhip. I think those are on Payhip. I'm trying to get rid of some extra stuff I've got. That's on Vinted. And then I have a few things on Printful. All of those links are down below. So now let me tell you, let's look at this realistically. I do affiliates. I do ads. I do Vinted, Payhip, Printful. I sell books. I'm a freelance writer. Did I already say that? So there's 6 or 7 income streams right there in the gig economy. And they don't make very much money at all. If I make $100 on all of that stuff a month combined, that's an amazing month. But most of the time I'll make somewhere between $3 and $5. So yeah, it doesn't make much money. My private client's gone, and for most freelance writers, their private clients are gone. They're now using AI and not editing the AI and calling it good because it's free. Yeah, that's going well for them, I'm sure. But I even had a freelancer ask me, they're like, are there any writing jobs out there anymore? The answer there is no. There are a few companies hiring writers, but you really have to dig into it. You really do. I see a few from, I think it's either Indeed or LinkedIn. I can't remember which one. But I get emails about jobs for freelancers occasionally, not very often. And what they want to pay is about $40,000 a year, which is not very good money these days, but there's no commute for that. But then you start digging down into what they want, and just you're never going to leave your office. With the way they want things done, like 5 articles a day, nights, weekends, edits, this, that, and the other thing, and they're only paying $40,000 a year, and they want about 80 hours worth of work. No. I've always, at least me personally, I've always preferred just give me your article. We'll negotiate a price for this one article, and I'll get it done. When do you need it? And I'll submit it. If you like it, send me another one. That's the kind of transaction I like. I don't want somebody paying me a big bulk of money and then expecting 80 hours a week out of me. No. I still want to have a life outside of writing, or at least I want to be able to do my laundry. That kind of schedule wouldn't even allow me to do my laundry. You have to sit at the computer and crank out 5 articles a day and deal with our edits and our cross-platform team, and we're going to feed this to a group of 5, and all 5 of those guys are going to come back with edits, and you got to make all the changes and submit them again within 4 hours, even if we give it to you at 2 a.m. Dude, no. And that's what it's turned into. If they're hiring a human writer, it's turned into very unreasonable expectations for equivocally very, very, very low pay. So, I had to go and tell the individual that no, there's really nothing left. They were like, well, I'm not really surprised. And anybody that did come back and say they had a client or two, it was they had a client or two that they've had for years and years and years. So there isn't anything new. In fact, I've only got one client left from years and years and years. And I thought it was going to be a really awesome summer because they were like, I got lots of work. We're going to do 50 articles by the end of July. It's going to be tight, but we can get it done. So far, I have seen 2 of those 50 articles. Now, I know one guy that went into driving. I can't remember if it was Uber, DoorDash, Shipt, Instacart. It was one of those guys. And they do reasonably well. But that individual does reasonably well in a large city out west. I'm not in a large city out west or even a large city anywhere. So, that depends on where you're at. If you live in Chicago, New York, Seattle, LA, maybe you can still make some money, doing taxi rides and delivering food and groceries. But out here, not so much. I mean, I've even pretty much stopped ordering things for instant delivery because it's gotten very, very expensive. I'm not blaming the drivers. I'm just saying by the time I get my order done and I pay the $10 delivery fee, then I tip the driver. I mean, I've blasted an extra $20 on top of that order, sometimes more, depending on what that fee is. And I just can't do it. I just don't have that kind of extra money anymore. And I think also that's part of it. People just don't have any extra money. So I'd rather bike out to go get groceries or drive out to go get groceries. And depending on what I'm doing, sometimes it's even cheaper for me to Uber both ways, take an Uber both ways, and get groceries myself. That's still cheaper than paying somebody to do my shopping for me. And that's really the reality of the situation. Prices are so high that there's no buffer to pay the delivery driver or anybody else. So you pretty much have to do everything yourself now. And I think that's where some of these in-person gig jobs are going too. People are just strapped for cash. Everything is so expensive. We did luck out up until this week and really didn't need any air conditioning. It's actually been pretty cold in Indiana up until this week. So that's going to give some people some relief. But here right around the corner, it's going to be cold again. And we're going to have to start worrying about the gimme, greedy gas company. I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't think it's, for some of these in-person jobs, I think it's just the local people just don't have any money. For these businesses, they just don't want to spend any money on anything. So they're going to use AI and do it for free, badly, and not hire any humans and go, we're saving so much money. Yeah, and you're creating crap content too, but hey, you do you. So anyway, guys, that is my take on the gig economy. Yes, it has crashed. There isn't much out there anymore. For the things that I do, there's really nothing. Unless you want to work 80 hours a week for $40,000 an hour, and sometimes less. For driving, it's wear and tear on your car and insurance and risk of, getting into incidences on the road, bad passengers, all that stuff. So, yeah, they're pretty much right. All the articles on that, or videos on that, are pretty much right. The gig economy, it's really crashed because nobody's got any money anymore. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. If you like the channel, like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later.